Hey everyone, welcome to today's show. And I'm really excited. I have Rachel Smets with us today, and she is kind of living the dream out there that coaches really look forward to, and something that I've looked forward to as well. She's traveling the world, and she gave up her job, she gave up her house, her home, and just decided to take off. So she's a clarity coach and also a YouTuber and an author. So welcome, Rachel. I'm really excited to have you with us today.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And yeah, let's talk. I'm standing here outside, which is a first for me on a podcast, but I love it. I love it.
It's beautiful there. So tell us, well, first tell us how you got into coaching.
Oh, I love that question. I got into coaching. Yeah, because people were asking me, a few years ago, let me go a few years back. I was working in corporate and really never liked working a job and working for a boss. So I did want to do something, I did want to do something online. And so I guess I rolled into coaching like many coaches because you kind of help people, and for me my purpose is really helping people, and obviously also because I wanted to make money online and live a freedom lifestyle and be that digital nomad like I am now. But there is a process, right? And so I didn't
Yeah.
really go from one day to the next from corporate to coaching. So I even started tutoring languages and tutoring, like that kind of but more and more I was helping people with their confidence and with other things. And yeah, I really rolled in, and even the people I helped, the way I helped them also developed. And I'm sure you had the same thing. So right now I am a coach because I did escape my corporate, and I am coaching people who want to escape their corporate and really have a plan to live the life that they want. But there is a plan, and I really coach about that transitioning plan. So I don't, not a business coach, I'm really that transition clarity coach. So that's me in a nutshell.
All right, awesome. So once you kind of got out of corporate, well, first tell us how did you get this plan to really travel? Like, how did you work out
Mm.
the details there?
Yes. Really, really good question. Because again, it just like when people say like, "Oh, take the leap of faith," I say, do never ever take the leap of faith. Don't jump without a parachute. You need a plan. So that's when it comes to corporate. But when it comes to becoming a digital nomad and traveling, it's the same thing. Don't just pack your bags and leave. You just don't. I mean, this year, literally, I decided to sell my home and sell all my belongings to travel full time. But I've been living abroad for the past 20 years. And my first time abroad was literally moving my everything, my household, to another country. And so the reason I wrote the book Living Abroad Successfully, that was my first best-selling book, is because people sometimes think, oh, I love a holiday in France, let's go and move there. And then they realize like, oh, wait a minute, it's a different language and it's a cultural shock and it's a this and it's that, and it's way more difficult than you imagine. And it's not a holiday where you have a hotel and food served and your towels washed. And no, you have to do groceries and you have to figure everything out. And it's just massively different. So yes, I have 20 years ago, I have moved abroad because it was something I wanted to experience. And I've lived in many different countries, but the way I did it, and again, it is about not taking the leap, because I feel and know, and we need money. Okay, you can say everything you want, you can follow your heart and follow your passion, but we need money. So when I was moving abroad, the first thing I always did for every country, I looked for a job. I looked for a job and I thought, okay, then I have money and then I can find a place to live and I can find my way around. And that's how I did it every single time. So always have a job and have money. Now, of course, coming from the corporate world, now I decided to travel full time. The big difference is that when you live in a country, you have to register, you have your taxes, you have your insurances, your health insurance, you have a whole bunch of things you need to take care of in that country. And I was getting tired of every time registering for new, taxes and insurances and all of that hassle. So I thought, no, I want just one basic thing, and I'm just gonna travel. When I say travel, I'm over 40 here. I'm not a backpacker. I'm not like hopping from one tent to another. I hate camping. That's not me. So I definitely want, because I am working too. Like I definitely like a home base. So I always stay for 2-3 months and then go to a new place. So for me, that's traveling. You're muted.
How did that happen? Sorry. So that sounds really exciting. I imagine that there was some fear there though when you decided to do that.
Every time, not just to travel, but fear is a topic I talk about a lot with my clients. I talk about a lot on my YouTube as well, because fear, let's be honest, fear is the most common thing. Fear of failure and fear of the unknown. For me, those are the most common that I tackle all the time, and that my clients tackle all the time. And traveling has helped me overcome a lot of fears and step out of my comfort zone. So it really helped me grow. But fear is normal. Fear is human. And if there's one message I'd like to give to all the viewers and listeners here, make fear your friend and don't see fear as negative. Because we are afraid of fear. It's like, oh, it's negative, it's scary. No, let's not go there. And I'm like, shake hands with your fear, like be friends with your fear, because fear is something you need to grow. If you stay in your comfort bubble, nothing will change. Life happens outside of your comfort bubble. And so I tell people, like, I'm not fearless. People love to hear that. I'm not fearless. Every time I come into a new area, every time I come to a new place, I don't know anybody, I don't know anything. I'm standing an hour in the supermarket thinking like, okay, is this green milk or red, or what is this? What is, it's like, yeah, it's fun, but it's also like, oh, it's sometimes exhausting and scary, and who will I meet, and who am I talking to, and where will I, like, of course, I'm not fearless, but I see it as exciting. And I think that's the massive shift that I've made over the years. It's like it, and that's what I would encourage your audience to do, is like, see, the feeling is the same, whether we're happy about something or scared of something. The feeling of the excitement is the same emotion. Confront this, and the victory afterwards, psychologically and physiologically, it's like, yes, and then you grow from there. You're muted again.
I don't know what's going on with it, but I love that, because I actually talk about that myself, about over the kind of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, where we just do it, right? We have to have plans, but we have to have the courage to just take that leap and overcome the fear in order to get what we want in life. Otherwise, we're just going to be in the shadows, or we're just going to settle for less. And we don't want to do that as coaches. And you're definitely not doing that in your business. And so just really quickly, can you tell us, how is it like working with clients and actually having to travel and start over every few months?
Well, I love it, obviously. It's I work with clients all over the world. So yeah, what shall I say? I love it, because the freedom I have is to make my own schedule, and that's the freedom I wanted from corporate. So working with clients, obviously, this too, you schedule your meetings with your clients, at the times that you want. So for me, living this life, I'll be like, in the middle of the day, I'll be at the gym, I'll be working out, or in the afternoon when the sun is shining, I'll be out on my bike and having a tour, and then I'll schedule my meetings with my clients in the morning and in the evening. So I schedule it the way I want it, really. And I'm always available on WhatsApp as well with my clients, so I can just do that all day throughout the day, So it's just, for me, the helping people, the coaching, and you have that too, Cheryl. It's a passion we have, right? And so it makes me really happy, to help others and to see them transform their lives, and being able for me to do that while I'm traveling. Yeah, it's the greatest thing, it's the greatest thing. I can do it anywhere in the world I am, as long as I have internet, which is a challenge. Like now, internet is down everywhere, and I'm literally standing on a rock. But hey, this is being creative, right? Working with 4J, because even now I'm happy, because 4J in the middle of these mountains in France where I'm standing, it just often goes off. And so I found a spot, and I'm standing on a rock. My phone is literally touching another rock, and here I am, and here 4J is working. So we're making it work. It's called creativity, right?
Yeah. And I love it, because, some of us think, entrepreneurs, coaches, we think we want to do that traveling, right? And then we think, oh my gosh, how am I going to be able to help clients while I'm in the middle of France, in the middle of a field in mountains? Like, there's a fear there that we won't be able to do it. At least to the way that we feel like it should be done. But it sounds like that is just not the case for you.
I love that question. I really love it because I never even asked myself this. For me, it's just natural. Like no matter where in the world you are, you can always help people, right? So I think it comes down to perfectionism, Cheryl, to be honest. Last week I did a video on that on my YouTube. It's like, oh, we need to have this perfect office and have the this and the that. No, I literally I don't travel with big suitcases. I do have my client notebook because I love pen and paper. So I will have my notebook with my clients, and that's all I need really, and a phone, right? And or a laptop, and that's it. You connect with your client, you help them through, because my program, the way I help them to plan, it's what I do. It's not something that I need an office for. It's not something I need a home for. It's the way coaching is really helping clients. You don't need all the bells and whistles to help a person transform.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that. I love that you're proving that every day when you're out there. I follow your posts, and it's really I think it's really courageous, and I also think that it's very doable for people, and it's important for them to see other coaches out there doing it. So tell me, what is the Great Escape program, since you just talked about kind of setting up for that. So what is the Great Escape program? What does it mean?
Yeah, the Great Escape, it's a great escape from corporate. So it's really the plan to transition from your corporate to the freedom lifestyle. And what I mean by that is really the steps, because the clients that come to me, they're stuck in a job, in a corporate job. And so when you're really stuck and you don't know, what is it that I can do? How can I make money? How can I leave this job? And you can't leave tomorrow. You can't just quit tomorrow because you have a good coming in paycheck. Most of my clients are 40 or above. And so you're comfortable, you know what to do, you're familiar. Most of them would tell me like, it's okay. It's not like I hate my job. No, because for years and years, you've been doing this. You like the money coming in every month, but if I then ask them, like, are you really finding yourself doing something meaningful? Are you really feeling satisfied and fulfilled? It's a clear no. But then now, Rachel, now what can I do, right? And then it comes to breaking down, like, what is that? Not just a passion, but your passion mixed with your talents and skills that you can monetize. Because again, it comes back to what I said in the beginning. Yeah, follow your heart. And then what, right? Oh, I love cooking. Are you going to make money from it? Oh, I love singing. Are you going to make money from it? So it's about, and then a lot of questions I get is like, okay, so I need to learn a new skill. No, it's about finding out what is your skill and your talent and your strength. And that is really, that's actually the biggest, the biggest task in the whole program is like finding again, what is your strength and your skill? Because why are you in a job anyway? You don't have a job if you don't have any skills, right? So there's something there that you're good at. Let's use that to your advantage so that afterwards you can use that and monetize it together with your passion. So the sweet spot between your passion, your mission, and your talent, that is what you can monetize. But it's a journey to get there, and it's a series of questions and works that that I work my clients through, because a lot of times we're so used to being in that same career for so many years, doing what our boss is telling us, just that same routine over and over, that we forget, wait a minute, there's something there that I'm good at, that I love doing, right? We forget. We're just, so the first time, the first thing that when I ask, like, okay, what is it that you would really like to do? I guess, I'm good in managing and organizing. That's always the first answer, because that's what they're doing, right? And then, and then when we go deeper and deeper, it's like, but wait, what is it that you really like to do? Like, what is there beyond the job? Oh yeah. And then things come up like, well, actually, like, helping people, and I like, helping them in this or that way. And then things come out of that. And then it's like, aha. And how are you now doing that in your job? Yeah, you know what? I am communicating, and I am a good writer, and I can use that. And okay, and what you're passionate about. I had a client, and she's in legal. And so just to give you an example, it makes more sense with an example. She was in a legal corporate job. And so the first times I asked, like, okay, so what do you want to do? Okay, well, I'm good in, development, business development, legal contracts, all about this legal stuff. Until we started working through it. And then she's like, but I'm really passionate about wine. the wine industry and the wine tasting and this and that. Okay, so how can you combine all of that? Literally within a few months, she would have never ever thought about doing something in the wine industry. She completely forgot about that. She completely pushed it away because no, legal is my thing. Legal is my thing. You pushed into a certain direction. Now she's doing all these wine tasting events. She's loving it. She has a burst of energy. She's good in what she's doing, and she's seeing the end of her corporate world. Like next year she's already have a plan, like, yeah, I'm in my final months. And the beauty of the program is that once you have that goal, we take actions towards it, and you can see the end of your corporate. And then the stressful job, the day-to-day stress falls off, because you're working on that escape program, you're working on your plan. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm just doing the minimal not to get fired, but I know I'm out of here soon, right? And that's the fun. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So if there is a first step or one kind of tip that you would give to somebody that's considering this, what would that be?
Make a decision. I think the first thing, the magical mental activity that successful people have is to make a decision. And I know it sounds like just a decision, and it's so important, and it's so difficult to make a decision. I'm going to tell you why. You can complain and be negative and say all these things like, oh, I don't like my job. But as long as you're not making the decision to leave and do something else, as long as you're not making that decision, nothing will happen. So the very, very first step is to really make a decision, because the rest will follow. But what people do is like, well, I can't decide because I don't know how I will do it. The how will come, but it's making that decision. And here's the thing, when I was still in my corporate, and I'll give you that example, I kept, telling people like, oh, I don't like my job, and I don't like to work for this boss. And I just, and when they asked me, so what do you do, Rachel? Oh, I'm a manager in this company and blah, blah, blah. And I was focusing all the things I did not want to do. Now, when I started to shift and say, wait a minute, I want to travel the world. I want to be, living a freedom lifestyle. And then I started shifting that language and shifting my identity. And that's something I encourage everyone watching and listening now to do that. Shift your identity to be the person you want to be. So when people then started asking me, hey, Rachel, who are you? I'm like, well, I'm growing online. I'm growing my YouTube channel. I love traveling the world. I wasn't doing that full time yet. But the fact that I talked about it, that I wanted to become that person, I changed my identity, and I focused on the things that I wanted. So my encouragement to everyone is focus and talk about the things you want, not what you don't want. If you focus on, but I have financial debt and I have all these things, guess what? You're going to create more debt. But if you're like, I want to make more money, boom, you're opening up to possibilities and opportunities. So yeah, I can go on for another hour, but I'm going to shut
well,
up.
I love
Sorry.
that. That's the power of the mind, right? Like, I talk a lot about affirmations. Just using a simple affirmation every day can change your mindset.
Yes.
So
yes.
I love that.
Yeah. Right, and make the affirmation specific. Yeah. Sorry about that. Just specific. Make the yeah.
And current tense or past tense as if you've already done it. So making that decision is saying, I'm doing it, right? I'm taking it into the present versus just thinking about it.
Yes.
Awesome. Totally. Okay, so you have a free gift for my audience. You want to tell us about that?
Sure. I talking about making a decision and getting unstuck. I have a free training with 7 steps to really get unstuck, and what to do to actually get unstuck and create the life that you really want. And these are 7 steps that actually, whether you're still in a job or you're trying to grow your business, you're always somewhere stuck, and these 7 steps are always going to get you out of there. So that's definitely and also check my YouTube channel, Rachel Smets. If you can spell my name, you'll find a lot of free videos and inspiration and motivation that you can binge watch there.
Awesome. Yeah, and I will definitely have those links in our show notes. Any kind of final words that you have for our listeners?
I'm going to end with a quote that I like. Life changes and so can you. I'm going to repeat it. Life changes and so can you. You're never too old, never too short or tall or whatnot. No excuses. It's never too late. Life changes and so can you.
I love it. Thank you so much, Rachel, for being on the show today. And guys, I encourage you to check her out on YouTube and her website, and I will have those links for you, and download that that video series, the free video on getting unstuck, the 7 steps to getting unstuck. So thank you so much. And have a wonderful day, guys. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.